45 Duane was American prayer. 5 fingers on the left hand, 2 on the right. Feet at the feet, and wash American prayer. Allah the Father of the universe.
Allah the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Peace.
Freedom. And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My God.
My God.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Through Ali.
Through Ali.
Amen.
Amen.
Please understand while we say more honors, praise and honors. First I give praise to Allah.
First I give praise to Allah.
Great God of the universe.
Great God of the universe.
Give honor to all. I give honor to his holy and divine prophet.
Give honor to his holy and divine prophet.
Prophet Noble to Ali.
Prophet Noble to Ali.
Founder of the Most High Temple of America.
Founder of the Most High Temple of America.
Give honor to all true and divine prophets.
Give honor to all true and divine prophets. Jesus.
Muhammad.
Buddha.
Confucius.
Etc.
Give honor to the forerunners of the prophet.
Give honor to the forerunners of the prophet.
Brother Marcus Garvey.
Brother Marcus Garvey.
Give honor to all past, present, grand advisors and moderators.
Give honor to all past, present, grand advisors and moderators.
Of the Most High Temple of America.
The Most High Temple of America.
Brother C. Curtin Bay.
Brother C. Curtin Bay.
Brother Elton Nelson Bay.
Brother Elton Nelson Bay.
Brother J. Blakey Bay.
Brother J. Blakey Bay.
Give honor to our past former Grand Chief moderator of the Most High Temple of America.
Give honor to our past, former Grand Chief moderator of the Most High Temple of America.
Allah love you.
Allah love you.
Give honor to our present Grand Chief who is the moderator
Give honor to our present Grand Chief who is the moderator
of the Most High Temple of America Incorporated.
of the Most High Temple of America Incorporated.
Brother R. Jones Bay.
Brother R. Jones Bay.
To his assistant.
To his assistant.
Brother A. Hopkins Bay.
Brother A. Hopkins Bay.
Give honor to our national chairman.
Give honor to our national chairman.
Brother T. Hopkins Bay II.
Brother T. Hopkins Bay II.
Give honor to all national officials
Give honor to all national officials
of the Most High Temple of America.
of the Most High Temple of America.
Give honor to all state officials of the Most High Temple of America.
Give honor to all state officials of the Most High Temple of America.
Give honor to our Governor of Washington, our Grand Governor of Washington, D.C.
Give honor to our Governor of Washington, D.C.
Brother H. Harris Bay.
Brother H. Harris Bay.
To his assistant.
To his assistant.
Sister D. Jones Bay.
Sister G. Jones Bay.
Give honor to all state officials.
Give honor to all state officials.
Give honor to our Grand Chief here at Temple 71.
Give honor to our Grand Chief here at Temple 71.
Brother P.J. Seal.
Brother P.J. Seal.
And his staff.
And his staff.
Give honor to each and every one of you.
Give honor to each and every one of you.
Give honor to our flag, for our flag.
Give honor to our flag.
The American flag, flag our birth.
American flag, flag of our birth.
And Moorish flag, flag our peace.
And Moorish flag, flag of our peace.
Give honor to our holy and divine child.
Give honor to our holy and divine
Just give
child.
us the right to practice
Which is right to practice
and teach
and teach
our religion
our religion
unless.
unless.
Give honor to all our auxiliaries.
Give honor to all our
The
facilities.
More Scientific American Incorporated.
And Lord, Science of America.
Special honor to our media team.
Give
Give honor to all our sick and shed in.
honor to all our citizens.
Give honor to humanity.
Give honor to man.
And special honor to each and every one you came out today.
Give honor to each and every one of you that came out today.
Give honor to man.
Give honor to man.
Peace. This time I'll read from Salvation Now Unity, More Scientific American Divine Constitution Bylaws. Act 1. The Grand Chief Chairman of the More Scientific America is empowered to make laws and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and Grand Body of the More Scientific America. The Assistant Grand Chief is to assist the Grand Chief in all affairs. If it is according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and is known before the members of the More Scientific America. Act 2. All meetings are held in closed property, according to Circle 7, in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Fridays I hold their rest. So on Friday, first man was born in flesh, and on Friday, first man fired out of flesh, and ascended until his flowers are alive. For that cause, Friday the whole day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the More Scientific America. No members are put in danger, accuse false brother system or indicating at all that we harm his brother or sister because Allah is love. Act 4. members must observe these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government. Because by being a Morse American, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Morse Scientific American is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of these said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. Group us, all members must proclaim their nationality. We are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed. They may know that they are a part and a partial of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, Ethiopians. Because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted to 1865 during the time of slavery. This is the newer time then. All men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is to be brought out of the great God of the universe, from day to our leading prophet, redeeming people from their simple ways. Morse Americans are considered an ancient Moabites who inhabit the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a partial all of this national of the Morse Scientific of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in mind all subsidies of the Morse Scientific of America. Then you are entitled to the name of place. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife must obey your husband, take care of your children, and look after the people of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting form of man. All Morse Americans must keep their hearts and minds filled with love and their bodies clean with water. This is our covenant of the Holy Prophet Noah through the guidance and the power of God and love. Noah family, Morse American prayer. The Lord Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. The Lord is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Noah. Amen. Morse Scientific of America. Home office mailing address, P.O. Box 388, 7600, Mountain Drive, Greenbelt, Maryland, 20768. You just had to read from our divine constitution bylaws in this entirety. And then we'll have a read from our questionnaire. This is called for the Morse American by the prophet of the Deuteronomy. Act 1. Grand chiefs and governors, the heads of all temples, all businesses. These said temple must be approved by the prophet of the Deuteronomy. Before acting upon by any members, let it be financed properly or in a line like the cost of another sacrifice, finance, etc. It will cause support in any group of members. In the form of office by these laws, subject to be removed from this office and have a restriction, etc. by the prophet or the grand chief. Act 2. All members must attend the adopt meetings and public meetings promptly. A member found standing around in the meeting period should be fined 50 cents on the first case. And on the second, he'll be fined $1, which will go for your emergency fund. Member of workers' money dues must be paid. If he has money in the bank, he must subscribe to as much as he is able to the Morse Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance to uplift the nation. Act 3. It is lawful and divine duty of every member if he is able to finance to aid and save the nation. And if he does not, he is the enemy cause of uplifting his own people, and justice must get you. That it be he or she according to the love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. As I had power vested in my hands, and I will have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members while making a public speech must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak badly against the church or any member or any organized group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings and come in and send their children to Sunday school. And teachers must confirm themselves to the questionnaire. And that every member exercise advises who is able to do so. Because out from your Sunday school comes the guidance for the nation. Act 6. Your first, all members must claim their nationality. We are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed. They may know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, Ethiopians. Because these names were given slaves or slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of third time now. All men now must proclaim their free national name and be recognized by the government, the nations of the earth. This is the reason why our great God of the universe ordained no to our leader prophet to begin to keep it in a simple way. Most Americans are the citizens of the ancient Moabites who inhabit the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Accept. All members must promptly attend their meetings and come in power and depart all of the acts of the Moor Science Temple. Members must pay your dues, keep an eye on all accessories for the Moor Science Temple. Then you are entitled to the name of faith. You must support your wife and children. Wife must accept. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become in power and depart all of the acts of the Moor Science Temple. Members must pay your dues, keep an eye on all accessories for the Moor Science Temple. Then you are entitled to the name of faith. Husband must support your wife and children. Wife must obey your husband, take care of your children, and got to do your job so. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother, be in justice, and come in power, and uplift and perform the manner. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and their minds filled with love, and their bodies to move one. This is where I come, the Holy Prophet, number to our lead, the guidance, the Father, God, the Lord. Peace. Islam. This time I'll read from Holy Koran and Moor Science Temple of America. Divinely prepared by the Holy Prophet to our lead. God the Father, God of Allah, great God of the universe, and lead man from the system for and save humanity back to the highest state of life with his Father, God of Allah. I'll read from divine instruction from the Holy Prophet, chapter 25, down on page 35. I'll read it in its entirety. Divine instruction 1. Ye are children of one Father, provided for by his care. The blessed will multiply and give you son. That the bonds affected therefore united with their brothers. For peace and happiness to dwell in their Father's house. And he separates in the world the new relations of mind which you love in unity, and the further never stranger for their own blood. If the brothers reverse their system, if the sisters in trouble forsake their man, so shall the forth from the Father, differences for his whole race, which care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Islam. I end by now. Very much. This time you can lie downstairs, and I'll let you come up.
Let them come up.
Anybody downstairs? Come on. Good. At this time, let's take a moment of silence. Praise our thoughts up there. Yes, Allah. Blessing. And honestly, we receive the day here. All of us sharing one another. Allah bless us. We can start right now. Islam. At this time, I'll put the name. I'll call our line sheet here at 1071. But PJ City, leaders in our Sunday school and Koran class.
Somos, seamos
Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protection, my God, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, through our leader. Amen.
Praise be God. Islam.
Islam.
It's good to be here. It's good to be here in the More Science of America at our Sunday school meeting. It's a blessing that we can come in our holy place to discuss these holy and divine teachings. But if everybody has literature, let's make sure we do and make sure we're prepared. Now, I pray that everyone has come in today with an open heart and open mind. Because that's the only way we're going to receive these divine instructions. Is that we keep our heart and mind filled with love. And our bodies clean with water. Blessed to have these instructions so that we can deal with the cares of the world. Now, for this moment, for this time, over these next couple of hours, while we may discuss things that are about some of the cares of the world, our biggest part of our discussions today is how we are able to manage those things. We come into our holy place to get instruction. And as we get those instructions, they refer to the problems of life, which he teaches us are social and economic. And in a profound sense, they're moral and spiritual. So this is where we reinforce these teachings about our morality and our spirituality. And as we can do those things, then we'll be able to address the problems of life. Who made you?
Allah.
Who is Allah?
Allah is the Father of the universe.
Can we see him?
No.
Where is the nearest place we can meet him?
In the heart.
Let's stop right there for a second. So, AJS, can you open this line right here? I believe in operating in the light whenever we can. Now, I understand some of the safety concerns that sometimes we have. Nobody protects us better than ours. That's right. And I shared this with someone the other day. That which will before you will before you, and that which will miss you will miss you. There are no habits. Law of the world events. So we want to be able to live free. And as we live free, that means we don't concern ourselves with things that we cannot control. For the things that we can, we apply these lessons so that they can be done righteously. And I stop right there because this is part of that, being free. And it says, who made you? Allah. Who is Allah? And remember in our Koran it says, know thyself, and thy father God Allah. So we got to know who Allah is. We don't take assumptions that we know because we come into the moral science of America that we know who Allah is. We're learning. Now, Sister Grant, she spoke on Friday, and he made a point that oftentimes be overlooked by some. When they think they come into the moral science of America, everything gonna be all right. Well, everything ain't gonna be all right. We're gonna have to still go through the problems of life, just like others are going through the problems of life, and pass through the ways of life, just as others are passing through the ways of life. The difference should be we're being divinely guided, and we're being divinely instructed. And the only way those things actually make a difference, even when being in here, and longevity has its place, but that's not a prerequisite for being saved. These people that have been in the temple all their lives don't look like they heard about the prophet at all. So my point being lessons have to be what?
Live.
They have to be what?
Live.
Lived. They have to be also what?
Practice.
Practice and applied. This is what makes a difference, and they have to be done in love. Because a lot of people know these lessons, a lot of people can recite them verbatim, but if it's not in their heart, they're not applying them correctly. Because he said that what does the hypocrite do? He makes his words in a what? Yes.
We just see.
So we know what we're learning. We're one from the other. It sounds like a bunch of it.
Also understood. Understanding is key.
It is. It is. I'm glad you said that. And that's important. That we understand these teachings, that we're learning to understand them. And that part of you, that gift that's been given to you, of the understanding is now for you to work on, so it becomes more pronounced in how you live. And you can see things that you didn't see before. And that's part of the unfolding. As we unfold, our God unfolds. Here we put that up there about that understanding. And where's the nearest place we can meet him?
In the heart
Who is noble duality?
is the law's prophet.
What is a prophet?
Prophet is the Lord of the law manifest in the flesh.
What is the duty of a prophet?
To save nations from the wrath of the law.
Who is the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America?
Noble duality.
What year was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded?
1913 AD.
Where?
Newark, New Jersey.
Where was noble duality born?
In the state of North Carolina, 1886.
What is his nationality?
Moorish American.
What is your nationality?
Moorish American.
Why were Moorish American?
Because black descendants of Morocco was born in America.
For what purpose was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded?
For the outfit of the fallen humanity.
And we perceive in being here as members of this holy divine movement in this era of time right now, hopefully, with our understanding, as Brother Munchbay has just alluded to, we can start now to see, even equally important, how significant these teachings are right here, right now. We just talked about nationality. And why it's important that we know our nationality. We see the conditions of the world in this moment that we're living. And this is the moment that we have. This one we're here right now. And especially in this country and other places. But more equally important for us, the impact that nationality is having on us here in this country. We're seeing people being disenfranchised, families being separated, people being questioned about are they citizens. You better pay close attention to that nationality card that's a replica on that wall and the one that mainly that should be in your pocket.
That's right.
You need to read it and study it. It's relevant. It's important for us, especially in these times when we're being tried. Make sure that you know what you are doing and what to say if you're asked. Someone had their hand up. Who was it? Oh, Jackson there and someone else.
Thompson there too. Yeah, I want to speak on nationality. You know, it's different than normal nationality, but it's more to just nationality. You know, we can push the nationality thing and all that, but the prophet he gave instructions that we have to go through the procedures to know more about nationality. You just can't just say it.
You're right about that.
You know, so I like the fact that, like if I meet somebody that don't really know nothing about nationality, and I bring nationality up, I have to explain to them what it's based on, what it stands on.
Make sure you explain it correctly according to the prophet.
Nationality, you know.
Are you hearing me?
Huh?
Making sure if you are explaining it, if it becomes an issue, that you explain it correctly and according to the prophet's teachings.
Right.
Not just what we think. But he's taking us out of the assumption business and putting us into the truth business.
Wow.
We want to speak the truth. All right? question here? You had your hand up?
That was back when he was talking about, practice and, don't take for granted that you know a lot. I just wanted to throw the word in. I was quoting what I heard, but I wanted to throw the word in, just being consistent.
Yes, that helps.
Being consistent in your practice and your study, you know, and try to stay motivated, you know, for us what you study and what you're looking up, stuff like that. Just being consistent.
Praise God. You know something? See, all I had you say all that for a purpose, and there's something that came out of that that is important for us in this moment that we're in. He used the word motivated.
That's right.
Right now, this society and the conditions of the world will keep you from being motivated if you're not founded.
That's right.
People are losing hope. People are losing hope because of the conditions that have been created by man. People are losing faith. People are not practicing as much as they should and looking to Allah, looking to God for the answers versus looking for man. When our prophet instructs us, we cannot look for those who have no mercy in them. So being motivated to continue to practice, to come into your holy place, to obey Allah's laws, it's going to take a lot for us. And that's part of our test, and that's why we are building up our character and our understanding, so that we can be motivated not to weary along the way. Because the devil will make you think that you don't have to. Or he'll give you excuses, which the prophet already told us what? He's taking away all the excuses.
Stopped up every rat hole.
Yes. So oftentimes, as we can attest to, sometimes even within ourselves, we get a little weary, we get a little tired. But we have to reach back and grab hold to that motivation, which is what? In your own mind, what is the motivation that you need to keep going?
Truth and hope.
Hope. Hope. What is the other motivations? You gotta have them. You gotta be motivated to do this. All of us been in here a while. We done seen people come and go. We done seen who done held and who's not holding.
Gotta have that faith.
We done had our own moments. That motivation is important for us.
Yeah.
Because it helps us to continue and help build up momentum. That we will strive. Come on, somebody had their hand up. Come on, Brother William, babe. That's what I'm about.
Knowing who you are, knowing that you are a spirit and a part of the great God of, right? Knowing who you are as a Moorish American,
Right.
right? Knowing how great and wonderful you are.
Yeah.
You know, those are things that motivate me.
Come on, Sister Grand. I see you, Mom.
Follow. Yeah, you know what? I was thinking that, you know, when you first come into this movement, I had to incorporate these teachings into my everyday life. But I was living a certain way. And when we get these teachings, we try to live straight, but they got to be incorporated into our everyday lives and to, you know, become a part and parcel of us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because we get these teachings, sometimes all we want to do is we leave out the door. All we have these teachings, but the world is saying something different. So it got to be instituted into our everyday lives.
They do.
And be consistent with it, and then, you know, it become a part and parcel of it.
That's right. That's good, Brother Israel. Come on, Brother Jackson.
Yeah, I want to say that the prophet brought the spirit. He brought 5 of them. You got to learn how to operate those spirits, Mo.
No, the 5 divine principles.
He
We
brought
already
5
had.
of them.
We already had spirit.
Now, we didn't know nothing about love. We didn't know nothing about truth. We didn't know about power.
Hold on.
He brought that to us.
Hold on for a minute.
Okay, go ahead, preach.
He did bring up our awareness, but we cannot speak in a generic terms that we did not know. Our will became sluggish, which kept us from pulling back and grabbing hold to those things. But inside of us, they always exist because the Spirit of Almighty God exists. And that never goes away.
He says not in possession, it's in the use mode.
It's not in the possession.
No, yeah.
Listen to me. Because see, when you quote that, you got to say it correctly because there's an instance in which you may think that that's what it said, but it has a saving power, so if you take away from it, it may not work. He said it's not in the possession, but knowing to use it. That's the difference between knowing how or knowing that you have a thing. Knowing to use it is part of that understanding that we should have and that we're developing, so that when the moment occurs, you apply the right lesson to the right situation. So it's important for all of that. But I'm not taking that away from your point. That spirit has been awoken. Remember he said he woke us up in love? That mighty spirit inside of us has been awoken. And we got to keep it awoken. You can easily, again, become dormant and go back to sleep. Didn't the prophet tell the Moses at one time when he was here, wake up, you sleepyhead Moses? It wasn't about them falling asleep in the seat. That's about them losing sight of what they were being made privy to. And look at what he was saying to them so that they could, in fact, stay motivated to continue to march. And that's what we're being awoken to. Because we have a place. Just give me a minute. We have a place. And we talked about it on Friday. Didn't he say we were the Lord of the flame things made manifest? And the Lord of the flame soul? How are you going to take on your lordship if you are going to sleep? If you're not practicing, you're not motivated. It's not for us to tell nobody what to do. It's to help show the way. So let us keep practicing. Come on, Mom.
Now, I agree with you, that's the motivation. That's the point I was just trying to say.
Yeah, we're being inspired to continue to go on. And what Brother Kerman Bay said is important for us. That's in our lesson. Hope. Hope is our ever beacon light. That has to be part of your motivation. We gotta have hope because people are losing hope. There are things and conditions, and we're being told and instructed on something that's very important for us to hold on to. That if it had a beginning, it'll have an end. That's right. See, those poor toilers, they had lost hope till Jesus came and showed them another way of life. Which is the same thing the prophet has come to show us. So when hope and love are back of toil,
All of life is filled with joy.
and you have to apply the hope and love, as the Grand Sheik was saying, Sister Grand Sheik was saying. These are lessons you can have, but if you don't apply them into your everyday life, they don't work. They don't exist. They're just the words on the page.
That's right.
Hope and love must be employed, and you must put it in your life. And they must be behind the toil. And toil is not just that job that you have, that you're working for somebody. Toil is the everyday ways of life. We're toiling.
That's right.
Because we're fighting this carnal self. And those carnal thoughts and ideas and the ways of man. So we got to continue to be motivated to put hope and love behind the toil. Come on, Mom.
I want to say that the prophet says, he looked for strong men and women. See, because it's going to come to a point where a lot of them going to tip off.
Listen to it. Listen. Again, make sure you say it the way he says.
Right.
Because when you don't, you take something away from him. He said this is a field that is open to strong men and women.
Right.
Not that he's looking for them. He already found them all. He know where they're at. But the field is open.
Right.
So you have to come in and join in.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, we get all the way to this end, stretched out to the end, and we give up. We feel that we give up, so that's the strength of it.
Again, those speaking in a generic term, speaking to your part or some that you or somebody who may or may not. Some of us. There's some that's held this thing together for a long time, which has made it possible for us to be here. It's some that ain't never gave up.
That's right.
So we can't say we.
That's
No,
right.
it's about what you do, learning from those who came before you, showing you the strength, because one of the things that we're learning even in our development and unfolding today. Remember, this is not just for us. What we're doing is not for us individually, not for us in this moment. This is for our successors and those who are coming behind us, our children and our grandchildren and the unborn.
That's right.
What we're doing is holding this thing in place so that they can join in. And when they join in, the hope is that they ain't got to go through the same thing we're going through. We're trying to make it so that the path is clear. So their journey is not as rough and bumpy as ours.
That's right.
So that's what our job is. We're trying to clear the way so others can have a smooth transition coming into this light and staying here and then carrying out the great work of this holy divine movement. All right? Praise God. Let's go to our next one. We're going to get to our questionnaire. How did the prophet begin up with the Morris American?
Teaching them to be themselves.
What is our religion?
Islamism.
Is that the new or is that the old time religion?
Old time religion.
What kind of a flag is the Morris?
It's a red flag with a 5-point green star in the center.
What do the 5 points represent?
Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
How old is our flag?
It is over 10,000 years old.
Which is our holy day?
Friday.
Why?
Because Friday was the day on which man was formed in flesh. It was on Friday when he departed out of flesh.
Who was Jesus?
He was born of Allah.
Where was he born?
In Bethlehem of Judah in the house of David.
Who was his father and mother?
Joseph and Mary.
Will you give in brief the line, genealogy through which Jesus came?
Some of the great fathers through which Jesus came are Abraham, Boaz, Baruch, Jesse, King David, Solomon, Hezekiah, Joseph, and Mary.
Why did Allah send Jesus to this earth?
To save the Israelites from the iron hand oppression of the Palestinian nations of Europe, who were governed a portion of Palestine at that time.
How long has that been?
About 2,000 years ago,
What was the nationality of Ruth?
Ruth was a Moabite,
What is the modern name for Moabites?
Moroccans,
Where is the Moroccan Empire?
northwest of Mexico,
What is the modern name for Mexico?
Africa,
What is the title given to our ruler in Morocco?
Sultan,
Where do we get the name Jesus?
from the east.
What does the name Jesus mean?
Jesus means justice.
The angel gave to the child that was called Jesus a holy name.
Yes, but it cannot be used by those who are slaves to sin.
What is an angel?
And the angels called the law manifested in human flesh
What are angels used for?
to carry a message to the four corners of the world to all nations.
What is our prophet to us?
He is an angel of Allah who sent to bring us the everlasting gospel of Allah.
What is the everlasting gospel?
It is the saving power that comes from Allah through our angel fathers by his father.
What is the covenant of the great God Allah?
Honor thy father and thy mother, that days may be known upon the earth, which the Lord thy God Allah has given thee.
At what age did Jesus begin to teach?
At the age of 12,
Where did he teach?
in the Africa and Europe,
How long did he teach?
18 years.
What did Jesus say that would make you free?
Truth.
What is truth?
Truth is all.
What is art?
All is Allah.
Can truth change?
Truth cannot change or pass away.
What other name do we give to truth?
Holy breath.
What have you to say about holy breath?
All we can say is great, is good, it was, it is, and ever more to be. Amen.
At what place on earth was the physical part of man formed?
In the Garden of Eden,
Where is the Garden of Eden?
in the land of Canaan, and the city of Mecca.
What is the modern name for the Garden of Eden?
Mecca.
What is the name of the first physical man?
His name cannot be used only by executive rulers of the AC of the MST of A.
What are the words of AC of the MST of A?
At that chamber of the Moorish science temple of America, third heaven.
Who were Adam and Eve?
They are the mothers and fathers of the human family, Asiatics and Muslims.
Where did they go?
They went to Asia.
What is the modern name given to their children?
Asiatics.
Who is guarding the holy city of Mecca today to keep the unbelievers away?
Angels.
What is the modern name for those angels?
Asiatics.
What is the shade of their skin?
Our.
Are the Moorish Americans in relation to those angels?
Yes, we all have the same father and mother.
Give 5 names that are given to the descendants of Adam and Eve.
Lucifer, Satan, devil, dragon, and beast.
What is the devil sometimes called?
The lower self.
How many cells are there?
2.
Name them.
Higher self and lower self.
What people represent the higher self?
The angels who protect the holy city of Mecca.
What people represent the lower self?
Those who will cast out the holy city, those who accept their teaching.
What is the higher self?
The higher self is more of the virtues and harmonies of life, beauty, justice, mercy, love, and right.
Can the higher self pass away?
No.
Why?
Because it's a hard man.
What does the lower self breathe?
And he's trying to lose himself and everything in the house.
What did the higher self say to the lower self at one time when he met?
Where are you going, Satan?
What was the answer that the lower self gave to the higher self?
I am going to and fro the earth seeking the one to devour.
As he finished his task of devouring.
Yes.
When was his time declared out?
When he nailed Jesus on the cross.
What are the last words Jesus uttered?
It is finished.
What did he have reference to?
He had reference to the inner Satan.
Did Jesus say that he will return to conquer him?
Yes.
What was the name of the person into whom Jesus was first reincarnated?
Prophet Muhammad the Conqueror.
Was Satan to be bound then?
Satan was bound in heart.
When was the head of Satan taken off?
1453 Byzantine.
By whom?
By Muhammad.
Name some of the monks that were put on the Moors of Northwest by the European nations in 1774.
Negro, black, colored, Ethiopian.
Negro.
A name given to a river in West Africa by Moors because it was carrying black water.
What is meant by the word black?
Black, according to science, means death.
What does the word colored mean?
Color means anything that the hand skin marks to eye.
What does Ethiopia mean?
Ethiopia means something black.
Can a man be a Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian?
No,
Why?
because man is made in the image and after the likeness of God Allah.
What title does Satan give himself?
God.
Will you define the word white?
White means purity, purity means God, and God means the Lord of the land.
To whom do we refer to at times again with God?
Allah.
Is the devil made in the image and likeness of Allah?
No, he's the shadow of our Lord, self who will pass away.
Who made the devil?
Elohim.
Who is Elohim?
Elohim is the seventh greatest spirit created that was, is, and wants to be.
What is Elohim sometimes called?
Sometimes Allah.
How many days in the surface?
7 days.
How many days in the creation?
7 days.
According to science, how many days in the year?
7 days.
And figure it out. So there was a good lesson that I just picked up in on us reciting those questions and answers. One of the things that I picked up from you all was that you all were in the rhythm. There was a rhythm flowing with us who went here. And that was good. And you all were pretty distinct in keeping the rhythm going. And that was important because that's how we should live our lives. As best we can, we stay in the rhythm so we keep that balance that we need to have and passing through the ways of life. When you get out of rhythm, what takes place? Sometimes. So we just read about what the higher self is. What the higher self is. Yes. So we gotta make sure that we are trying to the best of our ability be in our higher self. And that don't mean that you're being holier than thou. You just being you. The spirit of Allah don't change. That's who the higher self is in man. So we're being ourselves. And the more that we can practice being ourselves, we'll have those harmonies of life, justice, mercy, love, and light, because that's who we are. The lower self is an illusion, and it will pass away. So keeping those thoughts in mind, which are certainly more important for us to be motivated to keep going. That motivation gotta come out of the fact that we know that this is an illusion and this will have it has a beginning and it will have an end. That should motivate you to keep going. And as much as you may have to pass through the ways of life that are uneven yet not all painful, you still should be motivated to keep going. That Allah is leading on and victory is sure. That should be motivation for you to keep going. That our prophet is Allah's love thought, and he's showing us the way. That these teachings of our holy and divine prophet, this holy and divine movement, is saving our lives even in this moment. So that point that Brother Thompson there made, how I had him speak to us in terms of being motivated. You have to maintain that. so that you can continue to build up the momentum that it's gonna take. We're trying to speed up the ethos. See, the ethos will slow down, and reason why we can see each other with these carnal eyes. Because our will became sluggish. And the course of God came into existence. We gotta speed that back up. Because we're trying to reverse it, we're trying to get back. But you can't go back with a sluggish will. You gotta go back with bringing your will in tune with Allah, and Allah doesn't exist in this environment here. Yes, we talk about it, but Allah does not exist on these lower realms. He's in a higher plane. And that's what we gotta keep in mind. That Allah is in a higher plane of life. And that's what we're trying to get back to. It's not.
If you don't mind, I'd like to go into chapter 36 with the brother open meet that with.
Where's chapter 36? We can make go on this chapter we on. What chapter we on?
39.
We're on 29.
We gotta go to 29. Okay. I was just speaking on it.
You wanna make a point out of chapter 36?
We're in 29, bro.
No.
And that's, I just thought maybe I could have exercised my 5 6 about my year. But if you wanna continue with 29, you go ahead.
You can still exercise your 5 cents. And every lesson that we open up on the floor. But there's a rhythm, what we just talked about, being a rhythm. The rhythm is continued thought that was already put out. That each time we come in here, we're picking back up from where we left off. Because our grand chief, when he was instructed, he left us in a certain state of mind, a certain place. A train of thought, a current of thinking, that when you come back, you went to your workshop and you went and examined those things that we discussed while we was here the last time. And then we're gonna pick back up on those things so we can see if we're holding the thought. And there's nothing wrong with you wanting to go into other areas. We'll get there. The 36 come after 29 anyway. We're on our way, but when we get there, we're gonna call on you. It's not about time to this.
Yes, sir.
I see you, bro, AJ.
Going back to the motivation part. And I heard you say earlier, this is divine movement. For the motivation part, like when I was coming up young, my mother, my grandmother, they used to always read, like every day almost. It's like I'll send them to different scriptures of the book to read, And I think what helped us or me be motivated is carry my Koran around with me a lot and read, because it's a saving power that comes through them words. And it's like I feel more grounded in high thoughts when I ride around my Quran, and last time I looked down at my door, it made me want to pick it up and read something. If I read one line, gotta keep me like, plug, you know what I mean? Because I don't try to get unplugged. So I think what keeps me plugged is to read every day or every other day.
Good. That's good, man.
Thank you.
We should be motivated to go into our literature on a regular basis, so we can hear the word and speak the word. And when they said meditate on the wonders of His love. So there is a spirit in those teachings, so we got to make sure we stand in tune with that mighty spirit. So AGS?
Yes. So, now we're looking at, question number 28.
28, read it for the most.
Why did Allah send Jesus to the earth? To save the Israelites from the iron-handed person of the pale-skinned nations of Europe, who were governing a portion of Palestine at that time. And it makes me think about, and that was 2,000 years ago.
Right.
It makes me think about today.
Right.
Why our prophets were sent to us. And I remember you saying one day that when you read, that you read aloud, not only to yourself, because sometimes when I read to myself, you know, we don't actually get the clear thought until you hear it aloud, right? So when I have a thought, I'm talking about me, when I have a thought, there's other questions. If I relate this question to the answer what we just had, then that clears up a lot of other thoughts that I had. Because each thought is connected to another thought. You know? And if I listen long enough, then I probably hear the answer. But I want to clear in my head that I'm reading, that I'm on the same page as it's saying in the book. And I want to relate it to the lesson that I'm getting today.
Yeah.
And that's good, and I hope everybody understands what you're saying.
It's long.
Because there's a vibration, you know? And remember, we talk about thought, and we put those thoughts out in the ether. Even with what we're doing today, right now, we're helping somebody. We're raising our thoughts. We're sending these thoughts out as they travel. We're going out into the ethers with this. We're not just having Sunday school for the sake of those who are here. We're having Sunday school for the sake of everybody. Because these teachers have to vibrate. And even if they don't see them being executed in our goings and comings, the thought is always prevalent. The thought is always able to travel. It goes from one to the next.
That's right.
I can see some examples. I got you, Mo. I can see some examples of when the devil jumped up in here. He went from one to the next to the next. Because each one of them picked up that same evil thought. I haven't seen that take place. So I know thought is travel.
That's right.
Come on, Mo.
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to have a reading from chapter 1. It says, man is a thought of Allah. All thoughts of Allah are infinite. They are not measured up by time. For things that are concerned with time begin and end. The thoughts of Allah are the everlasting of the past until the never-ending day to come. And so is man, spirit of man.
Good.
So we are a spirit of Allah having a human experience here on this plane of things made manifest.
Yes, that is true. That human experience that we're having is the one that we created.
Correct. That's right.
That's right, more.
And it came from what?
Thoughts. That's right.
Sister Delia?
That's not, going back to when you were speaking about motivation. And I'm sitting here contemplating what's motivating me. And I came up with the same reason I came into the More Science of America, because I thought my conditions could be better.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to keep that thought.
Mm-hmm.
And on a condo level, of course, I would love to have some luxury money, sit back and, chilling with them, this and that. But I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable within me. I manage to eat, sleep, work, and still be able to talk mess if I have to. So I'm comfortable
Don't
with
talk
me.
mess. Don't talk mess. Don't put mess in the middle of all that good stuff. Don't put the mess in there.
But I'm saying that's my motivation. What brought me into the More Scientific America in the beginning, that I thought I wanted my conditions to be better.
That's right. That's right.
I don't know if the thought was there at the time, but I know what I wanted, my desire. That the condition I was in was not getting me anywhere. It had to be another path.
That's right.
And then I start reflecting. I'm keeping motivation going, reflecting the past, the present, and what the future might be.
That's right.
And that's my motivation.
That's right. Tell the truth.
That's right.
That's right.
But I love to talk last one.
Oh, you keep it up in there.
That's right.
Come on, brother.
I wanna go back to what AGS said about the irony and depression of the pale skinned nations of Europe.
Now, sometimes it ain't the pale skinned nations. It's our own people sometimes stay in that thought, you know. Because a brother told me the other day, he said, we colonize. And I said, we? I said, you better talk about you. Don't talk about me. Because the prophet took that colonization off me. You see what I'm saying? He took me out that mental slavery. So you might still be colonized, but I ain't colonized no more, bro. You understand? So don't talk about we. I mean, because I know where I'm at. The prophet told me where I'm at. You know? So if you want to stay colonized, that's on you. You understand? I don't think like that. The prophet took me out that kind of thinking. You know?
That's good. And it's good that you can, elaborate on that in that way. And we're still working on it, even while we're in here, we're still working on it. And that's good, at least let him know that he can come out of it too. One of the things relating to what our Sister Glenn she said in terms of reading from that particular question, and he stated this, that he was relating it to today. Where Jesus came to save the Israelites from the iron-handed oppression of the Philistine nations of Europe, who were governing the portion of Palestine at that time. And he said that that's one of the things that the prophet did is going for us. We were in that state of mental slavery. And the prophet came to relieve us from that. And to teach us and save us by teaching us who we are. Now we're not clinging, or we're trying not to, or we're learning not to, cling to names and principles that deliver the slavery. Because that's the same as the iron-hand oppression. As long as they can keep you not knowing who you are, you're going to be under whatever they tell you you're under. And the fact that even now, and we got to remember this, and again, she told you before, and just a reminder, we are the Israelites. So we got to know that we know same people going through this ways of life, and one of the things that they kept going, getting oppressed because of their disobedience. They were disobedient to God. And they always found themselves in an oppressive situation. So, praise be to Allah that He's allowed us to learn these same lessons over again and adhere to the teachings of our holy prophet, Nabi Ali, so that we won't put ourselves back in slavery. Come on, Brother Daniel.
Yeah, when you said that, that made me think that cliche when it said, those who don't remember the past are condemned to repeat it.
Okay. That certainly can take place. Yeah. Okay. Come on, Brother Jackson.
Yeah, I want to briefly hit 36 quickly concerning chapter Act 2. Say that the bond of affection, therefore unite me with their brother.
Are you reading from chapter 25?
Chapter 36.
No, that's chapter 25. You determined to get 36 in there sometime. That's chapter 25. That's chapter 25.
Yeah.
Page 36.
The point that I'm trying to get through is that
Yes.
it said that the bond of affection.
Yeah.
So the affection is here. The bond is here. So I'm saying, if I meet a brother that's not into more times temple, his conscience somewhere else in the church or wherever, and so what bond that we have no more than that's my brother and sister.
That's it. It's the same bond, but it's not here in most times. It's all over.
So in other words, it's a bond here.
It's a bond here and everywhere else. If you apply it, the bonds of affection you must apply to all your brothers and sisters. All of them, whether they in the moral science of America or not. It doesn't matter about that part. You're supposed to show them the teachings of the prophet. the bonds of affection. If there's a sister out there that's going through something, you're supposed to help her. You ain't supposed to ask her who she is or where she comes from or none of that. You're supposed to just help her. He said that brother in adversity, assist him. The brother being in adversity, you try to assist. You don't endanger yourself, but you try to assist. If your sister's in trouble, forsake her not. You don't have a choice of asking them what they practice, no matter. You're supposed to help uplift fallen humanity. That's the purpose. And then the purpose is even further by that chapter you're reading to let you know that they are kin to you. That they're all of Allah's children. It starts out letting you know He's the father and the mother.
Yeah, but
And He's talking about all of us, everybody, all of us, not just those who are members of the More Scientific America.
it's two bonds, brother.
No, it's one.
If you get with someone who's a Christian,
It does not matter. I bet you this.
she
And
don't
I
have the
ain't
same
gonna
bonds.
bet you. I ain't gonna bet you. I'm not gonna bet you. I'm gonna bet you. I guarantee you this. Over half of us were in the church at some point. And if we weren't, our families were, or somebody in our family was. And the brother who was it that was speaking in reference to, I think, Brother Thompson Hill, that his parents or his mother and others were reading the Word. They were reading from the Bible. And the prophet told them, "More don't throw away your Bible." So it doesn't matter. How about when he says some of my best morals are still in the church? You got to put all that together and understand that that part is an evolution. Just like you evolved from where you was at to being in here.
So it was best, he said the best more in church. What they doing in church?
What was you doing before you got in here?
I didn't know no better.
And so, calm down, calm down. And so, my brother, did you remember or have you read or heard where the prophet said he wasn't going to wake all the aged ass up at one time? So he's woken some of us up in love to get ourselves moving in the right direction. And he'll bring the others in. He said, keep the door open. He'll drive them in. They coming from out the world, Mom. They coming from all places all over. And I'll tell you this, in my own opinion, if there's somebody who has the foundation of a relationship with God, no matter what their religious practice has been,
Islam.
when they transition into here and they start to be open enough to accept the teachings of the prophet, don't you know that they're people that already love God? And they love Jesus? And so that transition may be a little bit easier for them because they already have a foundation of knowing about or learning to this extent about God and Jesus. We call him Allah. He's known by many names and many languages. We got to stay in this book and we got to study and practice, and so we can be open. So when we hear things, we can be able to apply these teachings to everyday life. That's what the greatest sheep was talking about. To any application of life, these lessons work. And they're going to work on everybody who accepts them. And there's more than they ain't accepted the prophet's teachings. I ain't talking about Temple State Mine in particular. There are more in the more science Temple of America ain't accepted none of these teachings. They just been in here. You ain't telling me different because I didn't travel. I didn't see them. I know some of them. And they ain't practicing this. They practicing what they think is this. Come on, Brother Cabbage, baby.
No, it's all, I was gonna say also, it's probably to know that the preachers in them is gonna figure it out.
Oh, now you may see that.
Yeah. Calm down, Brother James Hill. Brother James Hill. Calm down till it's your turn. Put your hand down. Praise God.
Praise God.
Come on, Brother Faulkner, man. I saw you now.
So I praise the Lord. I said I was gonna try to come in here and learn something, be quiet today. That didn't work out. But
Praise the Lord, I'm a prophet. I'm saying this not for any particular person, but to remind my own self as a Muslim. Moorish etiquette is built upon Islam. The Prophet Muhammad said, 1/3 of the practice of Islam is good manners. You cannot presume you're going to practice this religion, especially when the Koran says, you understand, that our ancient forefathers were the people used as the vehicle through which this divine creed was established on earth. It's one of the reasons why the Israelites got themselves in so much wrathful trouble with Allah for building up walls of discrimination, separation, segregation that all produced racism and division, and reasons for us to look at anybody and say their souls are not as precious in the sight of God as mine. I'm a Brahmin priest. He's just a Sudra, a toiler of the soil. But until you can get past that and see yourself in that person, the time that you need help, whether you in the church, a mosque, a synagogue, or on the curb, you're going to want somebody to show you the same love that Allah showed you through them.
That's right. That's right.
When do we ever get to the point where we can honestly begin to see ourselves and other people through the experiences of hardship those same Europeans got us going through? When do we ever see any compassion for our brothers or our sisters, right? In chapter 25, and know that it can't be just talk. Sometimes it's got to be a phone call from a dear sister who lets you know there's help for you, Faulkner Bay. You don't have to despair. We serve a God greater than the walls of separation. My hand is extended to you, a sister to a brother, like a brother to a brother or a brother to a sister. This is ruled by love. We don't have time for separation.
That's right.
We'll fall apart and be no more if we don't hurry up and get some unity amongst us and see ourselves in the other people who we know determines whether our lives go smooth on this planet. Peace.
That's right.
Just like you praise to Allah, honor to the Prophet. I just wanted to say, some of the things that I was thinking about. Elihu said in chapter 3, it says again, Elihu met his pupils in the sacred grove and said, no man live unto himself, for everything is bound by course, and every other living thing. Blessed are the pure heart, for they will love and not the man of the term. Chapter 10 says, the follow up with that, it says the universal law is one, that he is more than one. All things are one. By the sweet breath of Allah, all life is bound in one. So that's my connection with anybody, whatever race they're in. They wouldn't be alive if they didn't have the law in name. Their flesh would not even be able to operate. So therefore, when Elihu is instructing us that, in chapter 10, it's instructing us that that's our connection. All of us are spirits and part of Allah. Whether we are clothed in whatever complexion of God, even Jesus said, even the meanest worm and the other living lowercase animals are still deities made flesh. And how dare you kill anything? So we supposed to have even the affection for a cricket that's making noise in your room.
That's right.
We supposed to just say, if the cricket making noise, don't just stomp on it. If you have the opportunity to pick the cricket up and put it back in its natural environment, that's a blessing on you. So that's what I'm learning in the temple, just to have that affection for every living thing, because we all bound by cords. Peace.
See, the purpose that we're here is to learn. And as we start to learn and unfold, then we can apply. when we apply the lessons, then they make the difference in what the spirit of them are all about. When we just speak the words, that's what they really do, just be words, until they're put into action. So it's good that and the other thing that's taking place with us is our consciousness. Consciousness about these things, which makes us hold the thought, then will give us the strength to exercise the will to manifest the thought. So James, there, you're going to be the last one speaking on this, and we're going to go to the Koran for a minute.
Amen. Because you got this old short guy right here.
No, I saw you over
In reference to what the brother Captain Faith and Brother Jackson Hill and Brother Thompson Bates talking about when you talking about people in Christian church, well, it's just not the Christian church, it's ones brothers who went through slavery who's in practicing other types of faiths too. But you know, we don't have their nationality because the prophet was saying that the Europeans going to be hitting the preachers across the head with billy clubs, driving them into the temple. So if even the Europeans even going to be driving them into the temple. Peace. That's the prophet saying.
I don't know if he said it that way,
He didn't say belly club, he just said beating them over the head.
Go ahead. Hopefully we got the gist of it. The gist of it is they'll be driven in, and we were already driven in.
That's right.
So let's stay in. Let's take benefit of what we're being instructed. Let's take benefit of what Sister Secretary talked about, thinking that our condition can be made better. And then taking these teachers and staying motivated to continue to stay in here and do the great work. And the greatest part of your work is going to be on self.
That's right.
And that should be the greatest motivation because we have to look at being our higher self and conquering our lower self. You should be motivated to conquer your lower self. As we're learning what it breeds, and we just talked about what the higher self breeds, the Allah in you. That should give you motivation because we knowing that this part of us, the one self, doesn't want us to succeed. The higher self does. And he wants the best for us. So we must be who we are, spirit and a part of Allah that will help promote unity, as was said by Brother Faulkner Bay, help promote love, and then not only promote love, but practice love and not demand it in return.
Praise God.
That's the key of getting to that point. It doesn't matter. You love and not demand it in return, and it does not matter who it is. It doesn't. Because if it does, then you're not practicing love. You picking and choosing, and even when you pick and choose, you're not choosing love. You're picking something that makes you satisfied at the moment. And that's not what we're here for. The other point that I thought about when Sister Dale was speaking, and when she said that she didn't have to have all these other things, she was talking about being content. And we gotta learn to get to the point of contentment while we're here. But if we don't get to contentment, we're gonna keep going after things we don't need to go after. Be satisfied with the good within your reach. Learn to be content with those things. All right, chapter 29. Let's see if y'all remember anything that the class we talked about last week. So we got to hold these lessons and then carry them on to the next portion. All of this is handed to us in degrees, and each round does get higher as our unfolding takes place. And as when we see God yesterday, we don't see him the same way today. So we're on page number 38, chapter 39, chapter 29, pardon me. 29, magistrate and subject. Where did the grand sheet stop at? 5. Verse 5. Okay, I'm going to read down to the first 5. He says, O thou, the favorite of heaven, whom the sons of men, thy equals, have agreed to raise the sovereign power and set as a ruler over themselves. Consider the ends and importance of their trust far more than the dignity and height of thy station. Now, who is he talking to right there? Who is he talking to right there?
The
Come on,
one
Brother John
they
Mars.
chose
Hold
to be.
on. One at a time. Brother John Mars Bay.
Talking to the leader of the people.
Good. Now, what is he telling? What did you get from that? What is he telling him? What is he telling him? What is he saying to that person? You said you identified who was talking to, the person who had been chosen as the leader. In other words, the ruler, according to the words of the prophet. So what is he saying to the ruler right there? And what do you see
He
there?
puffed up in his own seat because of this position.
Okay. Anyone else? How do you see it? Come on, sister. Hey, Medina.
That the people who have agreed to raise that person into power and set as a ruler are his equals. And so once he raised to that power, they're still his equals.
Right.
I also got that once you're at that certain stage, to consider or to keep not acknowledge, but like carry on the importance of having their trust, since they're the ones lifting you up.
Okay. Good. All right. Come on, brother.
Yeah, he's talking to the one who has been chosen as the ruler. He's saying, consider the ends and importance of their trust far more than the dignity and heights of thy station.
Okay. What does that mean? He's making a point to the ruler. He's making a point to that person. What point do you think he was making?
Don't raise thyself too high that reads.
Don't consider yourself, but consider the people first.
Okay.
You know.
That's good. You want to answer that same question?
Yeah, I'm right with you. I mean, you're on that chapter, right? And you're on that verse.
Yes.
Okay, I'm answering the verse.
Okay, verse 1. Go ahead.
He's talking to a certain group of people. He ain't talking to no whole lot of people. It's like his cabinet. But he want to make sure that we're all following the same trail, on the same rhythm. What you said, he want to make sure there won't be no problem before he said you rule up. He said he set as a ruler. So he's in charge of all those people.
Okay, so he's talking to that person, that ruler,
Right.
in here. And what is he telling them to be mindful of?
Well, it's basically telling what it says in here. He said importance of the trust
Okay.
far more than the dignity of the height of the station.
Good. Okay. So, come on, Sister Jones.
So when I read that verse, I'm thinking about today. The part that says, consider the ends and importance of their trust far more than the dignity and height of thy station.
Yes.
That's what's happening today.
Mm-hmm.
They're thinking about themselves, what they can do, what power they got, what they can get into, more than they're thinking about the people that put them in.
That's how we apply the lessons for our practical everyday living. That makes us see it. Remember, I keep this in my mind all the time when I'm studying or I'm going through different things in life. The prophet tells us when we're talking about, he said, I'm going to make it so plain. So plain.
That's right.
Don't complicate this. He brought us these lessons so we can make it while we're here. So we can make it while we're here. And yes, he elevates us so that we can see it from our lofty point of view, but so we can make it while we're here. Because we can't always take these lessons and go out and talk as we're doing amongst ourselves right here with the everyday person. We gotta make it so, because what is the sake of a conversation that somebody don't understand what you're talking about?
That's right, mother.
We gotta make it plain.
That's right.
And he's bringing it to us that way, we deliver it to others the same way. When we expound on things among ourselves, we can use different terminology that the Lord uses and talk about some of these lessons because we're elevating our thought. But to the common person that's not in here that doesn't study this on a regular basis, you gotta make sure you're not just saying the proper word trying to sound intelligent. You don't do that.
That's right.
Talk to them so it'll be effective, so it'll help. Effective communication is what we're seeking, so that somebody can be uplifted. And remember, Allah in him, he'll give them that understanding. Come on, brother.
I mean, I think the prophet, from my point of view, when a leader stops being humble and he thinks he had a certain station because he's been elected a leader, then the vanity starts coming in. You see what I'm saying? Well, I'm better than. You know what I mean? So, as long as you stay humble, you know, then you can see, you know, you can think like other people think. You don't have to think like them, but you got compassion, you know, for people, you know. And then if you stay humble and you got compassion for people, then you're gonna be a great leader.
Good.
And you're gonna have the trust of the people.
And that's a good point. When you use the term humility, being humble, and that's important. No matter what station we're in, you know, if you become a supervisor, don't forget that you used to be a worker. So now you're supervising people. You all of a sudden now you treat the people like they're less than they. Yes, you have a duty and obligation in your station, but you still treating people fairly. You know. And that's what he's telling us, because our leaders come from amongst us. They come from amongst us. And we see the merit in them. We should see the merit in a person to say, well, we need somebody to be in that station. Let's pick amongst those who, one, they should qualify. Let's not lose sight on certain things that are needed. They should know the teachings. They should know, have a certain character about them that's good, that we can see that they're fair and equal and just. Those things take place in part of your selection process too. That they've been practicing, they've been consistent to the best of their ability. Nobody's looking for perfection. You just looking for somebody who you've seen has been trying. And it's wrong with they trying, because I've been in situations where I had to appoint people. This is when I was graduating at some of these different subordinate temples or branches. I didn't necessarily know, but from the character that I was able to distinguish, well, you hold this station and you hold that station. Some people may not be saying that they had the experience, but you learn it. And y'all help each other. And that's what this is all about. We help our leaders to get better in doing what they have to do. The law holds everybody accountable. We're not concerned about the accountability unless we see it being violated. Other than that, you give them your support. That's what they need, anybody. On any level, be it the head of the temple, be it a secretary, being a chairman, being over an auxiliary, chairman of an auxiliary, or whatever it might be. They need the support of the people that they're working with. That's important. He says in instruction number 2, thou art clothed in purple and seated on a throne. The crown of majesty invested thy temple. The scepter of power is placed in thy hand. but not for thyself were these ensigns given, not meant for thine own, but the good of thy kingdom. So what are you saying in that? And I can appreciate the example that Sister Joan Bay just gave us because we're living in a moment. We are living in a moment. And there are no happenings that we in this chapter because it's teaching us several different things. And by us experiencing what's taking place in our everyday lives right now, you can see the one from the other if you are paying attention. So our lives are given to us because it will be our turn. This is a moment in life. It'll have a beginning and it'll have an end. But the prophet told them all, when you get on top, you what?
Treat the nice.
Treat them nice. We don't lose our principles because we have a heightened station. We keep the principles in place so that we can carry out the work. Because our work is for the people. This is all about uplifting fallen humanity, not putting people down. So we got to keep learning these lessons and keep practicing so that we can be better. And I just said a moment ago, our purpose is to make it better for the ones coming behind us. So if we can knock down some of the bridges, knock down some of the uneven ways and the blockages that are in the way, to allow their transition to be better and they can carry out this great work, it'll be better for all. So let's continue to practice. We have to practice together. And there are no happenings, so when we do have discussions on things or questions and comments are being made, we look for the lesson in that so that we can know that all I wanted that to be said so that we can think about it. And even to the one who may or may not have said something that might not be exactly what it should is in the book. That's the opportunity for us to help instruct. Then he say, communicate it to the ignorant with their instruction, and to the wise without our own improvement. So we all are still learning. We got to take these lessons and apply them to our life and not think that we got it. Because the moment you do, you heard this before, you ain't got it. Right. Praise our most peace.
Peace.
Islam more.
Islam.
Thank our grandkids. Keep Chase here. Very up. Sunday school Koran class. I pray that everybody got something out of it. Help them along. To raise life. Let's say read chapter 29. Be a good thing. Go back into our station, our office, our places, and residence, wherever. And look at that chapter, study a little bit. Got to put them together and bring to us next Sunday. If all our will is to be here. Bring something here. We just went through a couple of divine instructions. So that more in there. Get something, bring things. Each one teach one. That's what we operate in. We working together. Unity. This time, we'll call our sister, grand governess, to read out divine one. Please give her your undivided attention.
Islam.
Islam.
I give praise to Allah and honor to His holy prophet, noble through all age, and honor to this our Sunday school and Koran class. Prophet warns all Muslims. Governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical, agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be a severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, and freedom, and when these principles are violated, justice then must take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings towards the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card, button, cease wearing their turban or fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet, Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sins by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Peace.
Peace. Islam?
Islam.
I'd like to thank Sister Grand Governor, Sister D. Jones Bay, reading now the Bible one. That is Sunday school.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father, love.
Father, love.
Truth.
Peace.
Freedom. And justice. Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Drew Ali.
Drew Ali.
Amen.
Amen.